Hey there, this is Walt Hester with the Estes Park Trail Gazette, and this is my erratically timed bit about cycling. We're calling it Where's Walt? Today, I'm in my pain cave. This is where I do a lot of my training at home when the weather's like it's been this weekend. This is May 12th. It's a Saturday, it's cold and raining outside. It's a bit crappy. So I'm here. Normally I would have a fan probably over there, throw a little cool air on me to evaporate. Very important when you're riding inside. Even when it's cold out, you want a little bit of air movement. I've got my water bottle and I got my bike. I've got my little trainer back here. This is nothing special as far as trainers concerned. This is just a online catalog special. And this is my pride and joy. This is my race bike. We're going to go over a few things about training inside. Okay, so we've already talked about where we need a fan. We need a fan in such a way that it'll be blowing on you when you're going. Okay? Wear your regular shoes, which you probably would. Water bottle, somewhere close where you can get to it. Now I happen to have a little block down here for my front wheel to keep it steady so it doesn't wobble around too much. And oft times I would have my laptop in front of me, usually with some kind of race on it, maybe a movie. That's the best way to get started with this sort of thing. Now, if you're anything like me, you want to go hard all the time. That isn't always the best thing to do. But when you're indoors, it's acceptable. You're never going to go for too long inside because it'll make you crazy, quite honestly. One of the best things you can do if you're indoors and you're training is work on your technique. Now, when I'm working technique, and I know I've written about this, but I'm going to go over it again anyway. You work on your position on the bike. Now, this is not a normal road bike. This is a time trial and triathlon bike. That's why the shifters are out here and the handlebars look the way they do. But the pedaling is going to be the same, and the body position is going to be the same. You want your body position nice flat back. Okay, see how my back is? You want to engage those core muscles. And you want to engage those glutes, especially the glutes out here on this side. Alright, so when you're pushing down, you have about the same angle as you would if you were a deadlifter, if you did much deadlifting. Okay? The idea is you're going to use some big muscles to push. Now, normally we might think the big quad muscles are the muscles that you engage when you push. It's not necessarily so. While you've got 4 big muscles up front, okay, you've got more actual musculature up the back. So here's my quads. I mean, big quads, yes, but you've got all these hamstrings, all these glutes to push if you have your technique right, if you have your core engaged and your back flat. Okay? So when we do that, we will be able to engage correctly. Now, when I'm talking about engaging correctly, I mean in the rotation here. Okay? Now imagine this crank here, that's this crank arm here, the hand's on a clock. When you engage your glutes, you want it to be about here, about 1:30 or 2 o'clock on the clock. Okay, if you have your back flat and those glutes engaged, you'll engage there and you'll scrape. Your toes are actually going to be slightly downward pointed as you come over the top. And you'll scrape through the bottom. Everybody's played out in the mud at some point in their lives. Imagine scraping that mud off the bottom of your shoe like you're out back and mom is yelling you, get the crap off the bottoms of your shoes. Scrape it off the bottom. That's how it should feel. Okay? So you scrape down from here all the way down to about 7:30 on the clock. At that point, you can relax for just a little bit. You don't pull very hard until you get to about 9. And then you engage the big hip flexors. And they pull over. And not until maybe that last little bit between 1 and 2 do you really engage much quad. Just a little. Quads are not very efficient as far as this pushing is concerned. Okay? The idea is not to have a dead spot. If you're what they call pedaling squares, if you're using those quads too much, you can have a dead spot right about here at about 5 or 4:30 or 5 o'clock on the clock. If you are being smooth and engaging up here at about 2, you will sweep all the way down and through, making a more efficient pedal stroke, less of that dead spot at the bottom. When you find that dead spot, that's when you're going to lose momentum. And if you lose momentum and you're trying to go fast, or you're going up a long climb like up Trail Ridge Road, you're going to have to make up that momentum that you lose in your dead spot.